Now here, as is often the case, I like to show you a couple of different approaches. So let's say you look at this and you're totally overwhelmed, you're not sure what to do. Well, let's go ahead and use Desmos to our advantage here. So we'll go to the upper right corner, activate Desmos. If you've done anything else here, you'll go ahead and click the gear icon, delete all, and we'll go ahead and type in these couple functions. So let me just get the window the way that I like it to be able to see everything. We'll type in f of x equals 2x plus 3. We'll go ahead and do the same with g of x. And I like to use Shift 6 to be able to activate the exponent, type in the 2, go to the right, and then type the rest of it. However, if you'd prefer, you could definitely use the keyboard down here where this is the exponent key, more specifically squared, and then this is if you want to do any other exponent. So now we're trying to figure out which of these is equivalent to, let's type it in, g of f of x. And I don't have to finish the parentheses. I can just go to the next one and you'll see it autofills. So I'm going to remove these two just so it's not distracting, because ultimately my goal is to find which of these is equivalent to g of f of x. Now, I could just kind of go one by one and type these in and hope that the correct answer will kind of pop out at me sooner than later, so it's not too time consuming. So let's do that to see what happens. I'll type in the x. I'll show you with the keyboard doing the squared instead. So let's go ahead and do squared. Oops, looks like I went up there on accident. Let me go back down here. Squared plus, again, I like to use my keyboard, but you could just use these keys, of course, 4x minus 3. Well, that's interesting because now, let me get it out of there. That seems like it messed something up. But notice that if I remove this purple one, you see the green one. Purple, green, purple, green. So in other words, this function is equivalent to g of f of x. So we got lucky and found the correct answer is A. However, if we didn't get lucky, I would say, oh, that's not the right answer. I'll turn it off. And I'll go to the next one and keep typing them in until I find which one matches perfectly. Now you're going to see an example of an incorrect answer, and I would have moved on to the next one. So we got pretty lucky there, but that's a good way to do it with Desmos. However, I always want you to feel comfortable with the actual algebra as well, because you never know if you're going to do this in your math class. You want to be really comfortable. So let's start with the innermost part, so the f of x portion. And we know that f of x is 2x plus 3. So they're saying what's g of this f of x? So notice we started in the inside, so that f of x part, and I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it right here. So they're saying, okay, what is g of 2x plus 3? Now, to make this a little bit easier, let's say if instead, I like to draw kind of a function machine, if they said in function g here, which is x squared minus 4x, and if I said, what is g of 2? Well, you'd be thinking, okay, I need to input the 2 everywhere there's an x, and then do my simplification, and the output would be my answer of whatever g of 2 is. Now, in the same way, I'm going to go ahead and take this g of 2x plus 3, just so I have a little bit of space here, and in function g, wherever there's an x, notice I'm just going to put parentheses. So I really have the equivalent of x squared minus 4x, but in place of the parentheses or x, I'm going to input this 2x plus 3. And then to simplify, think about the fact that when something is squared, it really means times itself. So don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, I just distribute the exponent. No, 2x plus 3 squared means 2x plus 3 times itself. And I could also go ahead and distribute this while I'm at it. I get negative 8x. I distribute the negative 4 to the positive 3 to get negative 12. And then let's say I go ahead and do this FOIL process of distributing the first term to each of the 2 in the second binomial. And then I do the same thing with the 3, distributing it to each of the other 2 terms. And then we'll go ahead and combine like terms. Notice this is the only x squared term, so it's 4x squared, which means we could eliminate option D. And then if we combine like terms, we have 12x minus 8x, so that's a positive 4x, which then enables us to eliminate option B. And now we're down to either A or C. So let's go ahead and combine the constant terms of positive 9 and negative 12, and we get negative 3. So again, we get A, and you could choose whichever of those options feel more natural to you, either Desmos or doing it by hand.